Okay, so this game is Tony's on the spectrum. So this game is kind of a response to me and you going back and forth about characterizing certain individuals as being left wing or right wing based on certain positions they hold, certain statements they make, and so I thought it would be interesting to make a game of it. So I've compiled a number of positions and quotes from a few individuals. Some of the quotes have been paraphrased so as not to give away information about who they may be. But I have tried to be as objective as possible in all the information I'm giving, not put any spin on it. And the quotes that are paraphrased, I've tried not to take anything away from them.
Oh, so just from a quote, I'm supposed to determine their political.
Well, no, I'm going to give you a series of quotes and or positions.
Okay.
All right. Now, some of these things are going to be kind of political, foreign policy, economic, and then also little things about their personal life and I guess their character, and so you're going to try to make a determination about where on the political spectrum they're going to lie based on this information.
Oh, great. I love judging others.
Yeah.
My favorite pastime.
It's the best. It's the best. And I don't know how I kind of went back and forth about how we should actually do the judging, like how it should work. Because these people, they're not necessarily Democrats, Republicans. So you just do it wherever you want. You know,
Gotcha.
Authoritarian left, libertarian right, whatever. So
Weak men make strong times. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that. All right. So our first individual. This person traveled to Cuba in 1968 to plant coffee trees for the Castro government.
Interesting.
60 years later, commenting on Cuba, said, Che's death meant a lot to me and countless like me at the time. He was a role model, albeit an impossible one for us bourgeois romantics, insofar as he went and did what revolutionaries were meant to do, fought and died for his beliefs. This person once told a libertarian he was speaking with, deep down, I've always been a sympathizer of the libertarian anti-statist point of view. One of the things that attracted me to socialism in the beginning was the idea of the withering away of the state. Later on, said, I am no longer a socialist, but I am still a Marxist. On objectivism, this person said, I have always found it quaint and rather touching that there is a movement in the U.S. that thinks that Americans are not yet selfish enough. Prior to 2001, attacked Bush's non-interventionist policies. Referred to themselves as having been a single-issue voter on the essential question of defending civilization against Islamic terrorists and their totalitarian protectors. Considered the American Constitution to be the most radical and revolutionary document mankind has ever published, and was friends with and wrote a glowing review of Paul Wolfowitz.
Oh, that's a monkey wrench at the end there.
Yeah.
Glowing review of Wolfowitz?
Also, of Wolfowitz was a fierce advocate for the invasion of Iraq.
I think I know who this is, and this is a tough one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe this will be the great Christopher Hitchens.
God. Damn, you got that one.
I knew the quote. I knew the quote.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, he also has a great quote that kind of goes along with this. He says, one's conservatism grows with their waistband.
As
you get older and fatter, you get more conservative.
I love Hitchens, man.
Yeah, he's the best.
Well, early Hitchens was a socialist. He was a Trotskyist. But
he traveled to Cuba to help the revolution there. He traveled, I want to say Poland. There's some places in Eastern Europe. He got on the other side of the Iron Curtain and did a lot of work. Helped a lot of independence movements, and I think he went to Romania and helped with this anti-Ceausescu underground group. A lot of crazy stuff. And got
It
to be good
seems
buddies with Wolfowitz. And
he went to visit the Kurds, and he got in good with the Kurds, and he made a lot of friends there. And that's when his position on Iraq really changed because of Saddam's
yeah,
treatment of the Kurds.
yeah. So I always like to point this out. His advocacy for the invasion of Iraq was like he was making a Marxist radical revolutionary uh, uh, position on it. That we have this secular democratic group in Iraq that has been attacked and oppressed and is nearly wiped out by this quasi-religious authoritarian dictator, and we have a responsibility to protect them. So whether right or wrong, and there's certainly, I think, both in that uh, stance. But that's what it was. It was not the flag waving American position. But anyways, okay. Well, but I don't know, where does he stand? Who is he? Where is he on the political spectrum?
That's tough, man.
We know who he is. Christopher Hitchens, the great contrarian and
He's a libertarian centrist. I would put him as a libertarian centrist, probably.
that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. I would probably agree with that. But okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. This person relentlessly advocated for the death penalty for the Central Park Five, a group of black and Latino kids wrongfully convicted of raping a woman in New York. I believe this was during the 80s.
Wait, the death of them? They advocate for the death after they were found out not to be.
No, so this
perpetrators?
was prior to. At the time, it was very obvious, I think, to most people that these kids were innocent, and there were certain groups of people. This is in New York, where they had abolished the death penalty, that were advocating the death penalty be brought back to execute these kids that it seemed very likely at the time were
Yikes!
not guilty.
Okay, continue.
Okay. This person once said, "What's the purpose of a country if you're not going to have health care? If you can't take care of your sick? I believe in universal health care. I believe in whatever it takes to make people well and better."
It's an odd thing to say at the end
Okay.
there.
This person said, "I support a ban on assault weapons." In regards to Iraq, this person said, "Does anybody really believe Iraq is going to be a democracy? As soon as we leave there will be a revolution where the worst guy will take over and he'll end up with the WMDs that Saddam didn't have." Ooh, throwing shade at the Bush administration there.
How would that work?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what's going to happen, apparently. Also said, in regards to Iraq, what was the purpose of this whole thing? Hundreds of young people killed, people coming back with no arms and legs, not to mention the other side, all of those Iraqis who've been blown to pieces. And it turns out that all the reasons for the war were blatantly wrong. All of this for nothing.
I don't know who this is. Interesting.
Okay. This person also, grew up with incredible wealth. And they said the Electoral College is a disaster for democracy. The Electoral College has made a laughingstock of this country. The fact that more votes can equal a loss is shameful.
Wow.
Person also supported lowering taxes evenly across the board. Their plan was attacked by members of the left for disproportionately helping the wealthy and business interests, and has broad support by a large portion of the working class. So,
okay, I think I have a clue who this is.
You don't have to pick who it is, but where are you putting this person on the spectrum?
They have a broad
without knowing
support.
who they are.
Okay, just pretending like I don't know who this is. The
Okay.
broad support from the working class. The problem is, to be a leftist, you have to support labor, and without knowing their position on labor, it's really impossible to say. But I would guess, maybe sort of sounds like a sort of normal neoliberal position. So I'd guess they're either like a left wing Republican or sort of centrist Democrat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is Donald Trump.
I've kind of guessed toward the end there.
Yeah, I think
You didn't get
the
any quotes that sounded like Trump's, which kind of threw me off.
That's why I had to put the little addendum in the title that I had to change some of the quotes because,
just because of that one.
it's basically just him. Because if I did it like him, then it's like this wandering stream of consciousness talking. And so I edited it a little bit, made it sound better.
Yeah, he was a Democrat. He switched sides. If you call it two sides, which I don't know.
He was a Clintonite. He was a good friend of Hillary Clinton. Spoke
sure, Clinton was great for billionaires.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Damn, you're 2 for 2 and knowing exactly who they were. So that's good. All right. Here we got another. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
This person was also incredibly wealthy. A staunch defender of the armed forces and military expansionism. They advocated a policy of redistributing public land to the poor. They helped rework the government welfare system by cutting food dole in half while instituting an unprecedented and successful public works program to reduce unemployment and partially replace funds missing from the food dole. Believed in tight federal control over the economy, held some extreme authoritarian views, was constantly involved in schemes widely considered illegal to help get their agenda pushed through, had constant feuds with the established aristocracy over use of public funds to help the poor and improve conditions for government workers, was hated by the most conservative politician at the time, and gave away almost all his money upon his death. Where is this person on the spectrum?
This could be a Marxist-Leninist. It also could be I'm trying to think of who else it could even be. It could be an early Democrat like LBJ or something, I guess. If I had to guess, I'd probably say you picked a Marxist-Leninist here, but this is sort of just gaming the system at this point.
Yeah. Okay. This was Julius Caesar.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he certainly had some extreme authoritarian views. He was a military expansionist. He was a military expansionist. But he did a lot. He gained his power by kind of being the champion of the poor and of the military in particular. So those were the government workers I was talking about. And he pissed off the aristocracy of the time by using the government as a tool to. Normally, this is for his own aggrandizement, but he had the poor and the masses side with him through his generous use of public funds to increase his own power. So
interesting.
Right. One last one. This was my daughter's favorite when I was playing this game with her. Okay. She got the biggest kick out of this. So this person taught physics and mathematics, donated generously to artistic foundations. They also worked for the banking giant Bear Stearns. They started multiple high-level financial businesses doing, among other things, helping recover lost and embezzled money from fraud cases.
That's good.
Worked extensively to document sex crimes from powerful people. Donated hefty sums to democratic causes. Worked with leading scientists on green energy initiatives. And a high-level Democrat once lauded this person as a committed philanthropist with insights and generosity. This person also had a strong interest in improving the human race through genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and was also known to have a deep interest in eugenics. And they founded an initiative to educate and help young girls get out of poverty domestically and abroad. So,
this could be
where
Peter
does this?
Thiel or Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not sure which one.
Okay. God damn it! It is Jeffrey Epstein. It is Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, the documented sex crimes, it kind of narrowed it down a little bit.
Yeah. So in this one, it wasn't his sex crimes he was documenting. He allegedly would have had videos made of all the encounters that people were having on his island, and has all these locked away somewhere in a vault.
Oh yeah, Epstein was he was probably Israeli intelligence, wasn't he? He was either American or Israeli intelligence.
Yeah, it's everybody I hear that talks about this seems to think that he was Israeli intelligence. And,
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
so they're supposed
in our
to be
sick world.
Yeah, he is supposed to have documents of all the princes and whatever. But yeah, so he did help recover lost funds from embezzlement and fraud cases. He also helped people that had embezzled and defrauded people hide their illicit money.
Oh.
Donated hefty to Democratic causes. The high-level Democrat was Bill Clinton, that lauded Epstein as a committed philanthropist and was insightful and generous. The genetic engineering
what's
Epstein. So apparently he was just in general interested in genetic engineering and artificial intelligence, but had also, I guess, spoken about and suggested using his sperm for the genetic engineering and for this kind of engineering of a new human race, where we basically all be
I mean, that's what you would do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so where is Jeffrey Epstein on the spectrum?
Oh, gosh.
We know who he is. We need to know where he lies on the spectrum.
I mean, he's definitely a weird guy. He's got some issues. Where did he get all his money? Where's all the video recordings of all the high-level figures with the girls? We'll never know, will we?
We never will.
On the political spectrum, though, anybody who's that friendly with Bill Clinton has to be a neocon. He's a neoconservative, especially working for the Israelis. I mean, gosh, those guys are right-wing as hell, dude.
Yeah. Worked for Bear Stearns, had all sorts of hedge funds, Israeli intelligence. I think neocon is right on the money. Some of the Epstein documents that were supposed to get uncovered, I don't know, and they just put these two lawyers or these two judges to look at whether or not some of these documents should be unsealed. And the two judges that they put on there happen to be the two judges that railroaded Stephen Donziger. And so there's kind of this speculation now, and that they are going to ensure that these things don't come out because, you know, they know all the well-connected people that could look bad. I think it was Larry Kaplan, and then it was Loretta Preska. They just got put, like, within the past couple weeks, they got put in charge of being the ones to make a determination on whether or not some of Epstein's files were going to get released. So that they are reviewing whether or not some of these files and documents that Epstein had are going to get released to the public.
Interesting.
So the assumption and the conspiracy is that they were put on there in particular because they're going to make sure that these things either
never sees the light of day,
released or, you know, they're redacted to such a degree that certain people's names don't come up.